Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Isopanisad Mantra 12. Those who are engaged in the virtue of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more, so do the worshippers of the impersonal Absolute. Here, andam, ignorance, tamaha, darkness, pravishanti. Enter into, those who, asambhutim, demigods, upasate, worship, tata, then that, bhuya, still more, iva, like that. Te, those, tamaha, darkness, who also, sambhutyam, in the Absolute, rata, engaged. Okay, here you see we had this first three shlokas, starting also like that. Andam tama pravishanti, shloka 9. Ye vidyam upasati. Those who worship avidya, they go to darkest region. And even more who worship so-called vidya. And then goes, anya devahur vidyaya, one result from cultivating vidya, one result from cultivating avidya. Then comes conclusion. Vidyam cha stad vedovayam saha. That should be practiced simultaneously. Okay? Now, shloka 12 starts again. Andav tama pravishanti, yes sambhutim upasate. Same pattern, you can see the corresponds to shloka 9. And again will be explained. Anyad eva sambhavat, anyad ahur asambhavat. There will be one result for worshipping sambhavat and asambhavat. Another result, and then conclusion, you should worship like this. Okay, so this is now the shloka 12 we are discussing. Here, Srila Prabhupada translates or explains the asambhuti, and what is sambhuti, what is asambhuti. The Sanskrit word asambhuti refers to those who have no independent existence. Okay, sambhuti is the absolute personality of Godhead, who is absolutely independent of everything. And he gives a quote immediately, 10:2. The absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna says, Namavidu suragana prabhavam namaharshaya aham adir hidevanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origins or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and the sages. So here, the demigods, great sages, mystics, they are declared as asambhuti. Okay, what is that, asambhuti? One who has no independent existence. Okay, so Krishna says, Aham adir hidevanam. Aham adir. I am the origin of devatas, maharishi, and maharishis also. So Prabhupada says in Prabhupada, demigods, sages, mystics, asambhuti. Although they are endowed with great powers, these powers are limited, and thus it is very difficult for them to know how Krishna himself appears by his own internal potency in the form of a man. So here, the Prabhupada hints the difference between sambhuti and asambhuti, that even asambhuti, although they are very powerful, we are speaking about demigods, we are speaking about rishis, we are speaking about great mystics, even they cannot understand God. Why? Because God is their origin. Just like if you see that cotton cloth here, just by seeing the effect, it's difficult to understand the cause behind it. Or what to speak of of course this is a non-living object, but it's difficult to understand one's origin, particularly if it's completely spiritual in nature, then it's very difficult to understand. So Krishna's powers, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's form, Krishna's abode, everything is completely spiritual, eternally existing. Now whatever emanations from him comes, unless he empowers them to understand that it's impossible to understand the origin. There's no other way. So here, although they have great powers, demigods, they control material elements, they are helping universal affairs, still, they cannot understand their origin. Aham adir hidevanam. Krishna says in Gita, Aham adir hidevanam. This is a very powerful statement. Of course, he says, Aham sarvasya prabhava. I'm source of everything, spiritual and material. Matas sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me. Matter, spirit, tatasta, everything. So, still, even demigods get confused. Who is Supreme? Okay, here. How to know Sambhuti? How to know the Supreme? Many philosophers and great rishis, Srila Prabhupada says, or mystics, try to distinguish the Absolute from the reality by their tiny brain power. Now, Aroha Pantha, that self-realization by the self-endeavor, is condemned here. Prabhupada simply doesn't give much credit to it. Of course, in another place, Prabhupada said, by the self-endeavor, one can come to the platform of realizing the soul. Yogis, jnanis, mystics, they can understand that I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. But they may not understand the constitutional position of the soul as eternal servant of God. That is very difficult without considering Shastras, without considering devotees' association. Means hearing from the Acharya. That is not possible. Here, this can only help them reach the negative conception of the Absolute, without realizing any positive trace of the Absolute. So, this is the famous method described in the Shastra and particularly practiced by the impersonalists, neti. Sankhya also does this, that analyzing this material world, we understand that what God is not. God is not matter, God is not fire, God is not earth, God is not water, God is not subtle mind, God is not subtle intelligence, God is not... So by this, neti, they could understand, okay, God is not of matter, made of matter. Because matter has beginning and end, matter has limits, matter is conditioned. So all these things, they discuss. But you can understand the negative concept of the Absolute. So you may say, you may understand God has no material form, God has no material name, God has no... But they didn't learn that God has a spiritual form and spiritual name and spiritual qualities. They simply satisfied with that. No form. In material life we have form, we have different qualities, this, that. But these are all material. So God cannot have any of those. Even other religions, like the Mohammedan religion, they are afraid of speaking of God's really qualities, form particularly. Qualities they mention. They speak about qualities of the God. There is one place, some 99 names of Allah are mentioned. And you can see all the compassionate, all forgiving, all knowing. And the whole list of qualities of God are given. But when you want to discuss form of the Lord, they get stuck to this first realization, the negative concept. Why is that? It's not material, so don't even try to discuss. Don't attach any form to him. You say, look like this, then you'll start to draw the picture of him, and it's all material. Don't try to fix form to the Lord, because he is unlimited. So, then there is a difficult to put together these two things, that God has no form, but he has qualities. He has intelligence, but he has no head. So it's difficult to put these things together, So then they come to the terms universal consciousness, So when asked what is that universal consciousness, the impersonalist preacher was looking up in the sky, as if there's one big brain floating in the sky or something like that. It's not exactly like that. You see, it's difficult to speak about qualities belonging to nobody, because they don't accept personality of God. So, who created this material? This is nature. Nature. But whose nature, Prabhupada says? Whose nature? No? So that is difficult to discuss. So here, they by one's own endeavor, people could understand that God must be different from material elements, different from material world, but they could not realize any positive trace of Absolute. Means his name, form, qualities and pastimes. These four could not be realized by the mystics. By conceiving of the Absolute in this way, one can at utmost reach the impersonal effulgence of God, known as Brahman. But one cannot further progress to Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. So here, this is what Prabhupada said. The maximum they can realize soul, they can realize impersonal Brahman effulgence of the Lord. And this is the destination. Maximum you can merge into Brahmajyoti by self-endeavor, Aroha Pantha. So here, the dependent demigods and the great sages imperfectly consider him to be powerful demigod. And they consider the Brahman, effulgence of absolute truth, as the ultimate reality. Absolute truth is impersonal Brahman. And Krishna is some powerful demigod. So that is also misunderstanding. That is also misconception. No? And that the fact is that demigods and great sages consider Krishna to be powerful demigod is very, very fact that Indra and Brahma, they wanted to test Krishna, they wanted to challenge Krishna, they want to even fight against Krishna, like Lord Shiva. No? He fought against Krishna. So these are all the misunderstandings coming from the demigods and the rishis also. Okay. So here Prabhupada concludes, but the devotees of Krishna, by dint of their surrendering unto him in unalloyed devotion, can know he is the absolute person and that everything emanates from him. Here, this is important. He is the absolute person, his personality, no? And everything emanates from him. Such devotees continuously render loving service unto Krishna, the fountainhead of everything. Prabhupada says, the fountainhead of everything. Fountainhead means the source of everything. The source of all avatars, the source of all demigods, the source of all rishis, the source of all material and spiritual worlds. So here, this is the Asambhuti. Now demigod worship. In the Bhagavad Gita 7:20-23, it is said that only unintelligent, bewildered person, driven by strong desire for sense gratification, worship the demigods for the temporary relief of temporary problems. You see the definition. Why do they worship? For the temporary relief, because phalam, antavatu phalam tesham, the blessings given by demigods is temporary. Any material blessing is temporary. So they, kama istha krita jnana, prapadyantena devataha, that driven by the material desires, people approach demigods. And demigods give material blessings. So here, the demigods, they worship demigods for the temporary relief of temporary problems. No? They ask material benefit. Why? They want some blessings, sort out their problems. They want money, they want good health, they want a wife, they want a house, they want this, they want that. So there is that, once we were invited for the, what was that, Chamundi Puja, Durga Puja. And they have 245 items, 254 items. I forgot the exact number. Around 250 items that they ask Durga in that puja. And every time they pour ghee and they ask, give us grains, give us silk, give us clothes, give us house, give us progeny, give us prosperity, give us happiness. Goes on, you know. After Pura he told me, oh, hand is paining, so much. You know, our Subramani. So, it's amazing, no? That why didn't ask one thing? Please stop repeated birth and death. At least this much. That is not there. That's not on the list. Maybe there is some other list, but that was not on this list. So, this is the thing. What we are asking demigods? Temporary relief for temporary problems. Okay, what do you want? What do you want materially? I'm asking, going to give blessing, whatever you want. MP3 player. Okay, MP3 player. Tatastu, you get MP3 player. And then, after some time, now temporary relief for temporary problem. No? After some time, MP3 player will collapse also. Or you will like another one. It's like this. Money, I give you. How much you want? 1 crore. I know you. You will finish it in 1 year. You know. Then, one more. Temporary relief for temporary problems. Just you cure my back pain, then everything will be okay. Then you cure back pain, and then comes the neck pain, or some mental pain, or whatever. There's so many problems. Temporary relief. Again, is it permanent relief? Okay, I prayed so much to back relief. And then now you are relief, back is relief. And then what? You're not going to die. You're going to die. There'll be body relief soon. You have to dispose your body. All temporary reliefs for temporary problems. And problems are also temporary. How long you're going to have money problem? I mean, maximum till the end of life. It's temporary. Maybe life after life also some, you can't tell. But even that is temporary, you know. So you see, there is no clue of spiritual solution. There is no clue. There is no end of material desires, and there is no end of material problems. And there is, what are all these blessings? Antavanta. No? Why is that? Antavatu phalam tesha. Antavat. Their blessing has the end. They have the end. Anta means the end. Antavatu phalam tesha tad bhavati alpa medasam. Alpa medasam. Alpa, swalpa, little bit. Alpa medasam. This much intelligence they have. Very less. I don't know, is it that glorification? Prabhuji, you are less intelligent. I'm saying you are a fool. That's what I'm saying. What do I do? No? No, but I'm polite. I use word intelligence. No, medasam is intelligent. Alpa medas. I didn't say swalpa. That you are completely minor. Alpa medas. Okay, at least you worship demigods. No? Alpa medas, less intelligent. Why? Immediate answer is given in second. Devan devaya joyanti madbhaktayanti mama. Immediately. The Krishna explains that don't think it is same worshipping me and worshipping demigods. Don't think. So this is amazing. Actually, I'm really amazed in India that people so much into demigod worship when Bhagavad Gita is so strong against it. So strong. And I mean, cannot be more plain and straight. And even you know this, what I'm talking about, 720 to 23 to 20, and then you have 925, Yanti Deva, Vrta Deva, and Pitri, and then you have Avidhi Purvakam, improperly worship. Really, and what to speak, Sarvadharvam Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja, worship only one me. Yeah? It's amazing that people honor Gita and respect Gita, but 99% of people really worship demigods in India. No? So I wondered that maybe our translation of Gita is a little different, you know. So I went to see this 2-3 different translations. One was that Gita Press edition, and there was one Ram Das, one scholar, Shastri, he translated, and few popular Gitas I've seen, you know. And then it's an amazing thing. Then I opened 720, and what is translation? Those whose intelligence is bewildered by material desires worship other gods, anyata devata. You know? Antavantu phalam teshan tadbhavatu alpa medasham. Less intelligent people go to worship demigods. Same translation. This is amazing. No? So I was thinking, wow, how is that? No? Then when you come to other shlokas, you know, in Gita, Manmana Bhahamad Bhakto Madhyajim Nama, then he writes down, what should you think of that form of the Lord which he likes most? Any form will do. Durga, Ganapati, this is his purpose. No, it's contradictory, you know. But for them it's fine. And yes, that is Hinduism. You know, the foreigner, one foreign gentleman came to Delhi, and one of father of a devotee. He's kind of devotee, but you will see what kind of devotee he is. Father of a devotee hosted him for 1 or 2 days, took him around to Delhi. So this devotee told me that how his father represented what is Hinduism to him. Oh, you want to learn about Hinduism? Hinduism like a supermarket. You have so many gods we have, you come in market and you choose what you like, and this is how we worship in India. That was the introduction to Hinduism, a short course. But that is something very weird indeed, that you are choosing your God. But I think we are chosen by the God. Rather, we are His creation, we are His servants, we are His sons. It's not that, okay, let's go to the market of people and everybody choose his father. But the very fact that I exist is already fact that I have a father, that I have to choose it. It's already chosen. It's not that, there's no option. No, very fact that you can say to the lady that you choose who will be father of your children. No? Before marriage. Then she selects the husband. Okay, this is the husband, you may say like this, but she is not choosing her father. Again, correct? You can't choose your own father. No? So this is how he says Hinduism means. On the market, open, whatever you like, you worship. You like Ganapati, you worship. You like Durga, you worship. No? And it's not only liking, but people are now in the mode, whatever works. So I worship Ganapati because my father worshipped Ganapati. Because his father worshipped Ganapati. So I worship Ganapati. But I have so many, I have in trouble, I have financial problem, I have this problem, I have that problem. Ganapati ji, are you hearing me? Please respond. And then somebody comes into my house and he say, Shirdi Baba, you worship. Why is that? 2 chapatis you keep in the pot and pot you cover overnight, and then the next day you take chapati, and then somebody was explaining to me the mystical process of worshipping Shirdi Baba. And then you take chapatis, but in the pot, again 2 chapatis will remain there. So anyway, Christian prays for bread, Indians pray for chapatis, I guess. Well, so what is the point? Somebody comes and tells, you worship Shirdi Baba, you will get a blessing. And somehow or other, when he shifts to Shirdi worship, he got some money, he got to improve his job and this, that. And he gives up Ganapati worship, which was worshipped by forefathers, and he goes for Baba worship. That we met that lady also. She had worshipping all life Guru Vayuappan, Krishna in Kerala, beautiful temple. And now she shifted to Kalki Bhagavan. Well, we would be happy if she really worshipped Kalki Bhagavan, but she is worshipping this imposer, Bogus Kalki from Andhra, who is, by the way, what happened to him? Anybody? And no more news. Wife died. Amazing. But they told me that Amma Bhagavan also.
Shakti is lost.
Shakti is lost. Shakti is not there anymore. So he is crying somewhere. Okay. So, you see, then we ask her, in book distribution, we came and we are pushing her to read Gita or Krishna book. She said, no, I worshipped so many years Krishna, but he didn't reciprocate. I went to Kalki and he reciprocated. So, that's what they think. They think that these others, they reciprocated. But it's not. It's Krishna who reciprocates. Okay. So, temporary relief of temporary problems. Prabhupada says, Isopanisad therefore instructs that we should not seek temporary relief of our difficulties by worshipping the dependent demigods who can bestow only temporary benefit. Rather, we must worship the absolute personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is all attractive and who can bestow upon us complete freedom from material bondage by taking us back home, back to Godhead. Now, 2 things to notice here in this statement. One is that worship Krishna. Don't worship demigods. Second thing is, don't ask for temporary material relief. Ask for eternal benefit. Ask for permanent benefit. Ask something worthy, asking. You're coming in front of king. It's not easy to meet the king. You're coming in front of king and say, 1 rupee, please. So you remember Vamana. Give me 3 steps of land. And Bali Chakravarti is laughing. You're a small boy. You're coming in front of king. Once you ask me something, all your life you should not ask anything, anybody. You met the king. That means all your needs are satisfied. So foolish child. I give you another chance. Reform your question. Ask more land. Of course, Vamana there. It's Vishnu himself. He says, one who is not satisfied with 3 steps of land, he will not be satisfied with 3 lokas also. So let me be content with whatever you give me. Of course, he was not really satisfied because he got only 2 steps of land. He said, what about 3rd one you promised? That is different, Leela. No? But point is very clear, that we have to really ask real boon, real benefit. Why should I ask something temporary? Why? God gives so much. Ask me real thing, but you have to ask. This is the point. That we misuse independence by leaving the Lord. We have to use our independence to ask Lord, take us back home, back to God. We have to ask. This is the thing. You have to ask. We have to ask. Means we have to show. What is that? Lolyam. That Prabhupada translates intense greed. We have to have so much desire to go home back to Godhead, to serve Krishna, to surrender to Krishna. Then Krishna will reciprocate. We should show our desire. How do we show our desire to Krishna that we are interested to go home back to Godhead?
By serving.
By serving, by following what Guru says, by following our sadhana sincerely, by endeavoring, by constant endeavor. We are showing Krishna, oh Krishna, we are sincere. We will not miss Mangalarti, we will not miss class, we will not miss our service, we will dedicate ourselves, like that. And then Krishna reciprocates. Okay, Prabhupada says, in Bhagavad Gita 7.23, he said that the worshippers of demigods can go to the planet of the demigods. Śrīpāda points out that one who worships the demigods and attains to their material planets still remains in the darkest region of the universe. Why is this the darkest region? Because you are still in the material world. After acquiring pious activities, one goes to heavenly planets and then again falls down. When his punya is exhausted, again he has to come to the material plane. So what is your position? What is that position? Actually you are in material world still. Yeah, one may be surprised, look at the shloka. Look at this. Those who are engaged in worship of demigods enter into darkest region of ignorance. Most of Indian people will be shocked reading this. Correct? And you will see Shankaracharya's translation is different, Madhvācārya's translation is different, Bhaktivinoda Thakura's translation is different, Baladeva translation is Vedānta-deśika's translation is different. Because the Sanskrit is like this, they could from different angles explain this. Yeah? But it's very amazing statement, look at this. And the impersonalists, those who worship are impersonal absolute, even worse than that. It's a shocking statement. But this is reality, this is what it is. And Prabhupada explains in the purpose why is it so, no? But why? Darkest region, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. Because if you worship devatas, you go to their planets. Abrahma Bhuvana Loka, Punaravarti Nojina. But even Brahma Loka, which is the highest, is place of repeated birth and death. So still you remain in material world. What is the point then? What is the use? So this proves, Gita itself proves, all other Vedic literature, that if you worship demigods, you're not coming out of material world. This is the fact. This is what it is. Okay, then Prabhupada continues. The whole universe is covered by the gigantic material elements. It is just like a coconut covered by shell and half filled with water. No? And this is something really Krishna created to show us. This is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. What is another example of coconut? Who remembers? Prabhupada gives many analogies, but one more is there. Yes. So, basically when coconut is ripened, it becomes detached from the shell. No? So that sound comes, tuk, 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 tuk. No? That's another example Prabhupada given. By the detachment we can leave this material world. We should become detached. Okay, so here, why? This is showing what is the darkest region. Because all universe is covered by gigantic material elements. It's covered up. We are living in darkness of material world. Outside the universe is the vast and unlimited Brahma-jyoti expansion, which is filled with Vaikuntha lokas. So we understand the spiritual world is the bright sky filled with so many Vaikuntha planets. The biggest and highest planet in the Brahmajyoti is Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, say Krishna himself, resides. So this is the difference between worshipping demigods and worshipping Krishna. What is it Krishna says? Mam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. No more birth and death if you worship me. Now, what is that? Natar bhasate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yadgatva na nivartante. Once you come to my abode, na nivartante, you will not come back. This is the difference. In Brahma Loka, you have to come back. Indra Loka, you have to come back. Yama Loka, you have to come back. Anywhere, any demigods you go, you have to come back. Okay, so here, Prabhupada then continues explaining, who worships Asambhuti? There are many pseudo-worshippers who become religionists only for the sake of name and fame. Now this is another thing. Jiva wants to enjoy in material world. And there is a gross sense gratification, then there is a regulated sense gratification of Grihastha Ashram. Then there is a sense gratification having one status and position in the society. There is a sense gratification being a member of an aristocratic or royal family or rich family. Then there is a sense gratification assuming the posts of administrators, kings, rulers, politicians. And then the jiva say, hey, what about enjoying spiritualism also? You see, jiva wants to enjoy. Then they bring their material desires into spiritual realm. So they use religion and sentiment of people to enjoy themselves. They enjoy the name, fame, they get money. Guru business, this is profitable, externally, till time of death comes and then you have to pay the bill to Yamaraj, which is described in 5th canto. Bogus Guru and his disciples, where do they go and what happens there? When the followers of Bogus Guru come to hell along with the Guru, they realize, because of these rascals we are there. And then they all beat him there. So, whoever has more followers, more beating will come. Proportionately. Okay. So, you see, this is what's going on. Pseudo-worshippers. Pseudo-worshippers means one who is not sincere, Prabhupada says. Bogus worship. Some drama, some show he's making of worship. He's making show of worship, but he doesn't want. What was that? That Pujari was worshipping Shaligram, and somebody brought some nuts. What was it? Some kind of nuts they brought to him. And he closed the screen to offer, and behind the screen he took Shaligram and breaking the nuts. This much faith he had in worship of God. Simply wanted to eat those nuts. So somebody people, oh, Pujari ji, where is your faith? No? So many people, they open temple to maintain themselves. You can see, for example, I should not say, but I have to say, in Vrindavan, many temples are open because pilgrimage they come, they open Radha Krishna temple, they put hundi, this way, that way, they get their maintenance. Prabhupada criticizes, they simply open and close screen for their maintenance. Means worshipping the deities to maintain themselves, because they know. Even these rascals impersonalists, there is one nearby in Coimbatore. This, should not say the name, it's recorded. But he says, deity form is material, God has no form, we should not worship the deity. Then in his own temple he installed Shiva Linga. Why did he install Shiva Linga? So I asked one of his disciples, that your Guru is so much against the deity worship. He's saying the deity worship is temporary. It's just to focus your mind. Actually, this is not form of the God, because God has no form. So why did you worship Shiva Linga? And he said, oh, this is just to attract the people, because nobody would come to our temple unless there is some deity here. At least honestly he thought. And even Mayavadis, they will speak on Krishna Leelas, Bhagavatam. But if you ask them, so what is the benefit of all this? What is this all Krishna? Anyway, it is also Maya, but this is Sattvic. You will see, Prabhupada will speak about Mayavadis here. So, pseudo-worshippers. What means pseudo-worshippers? One whose aim is not to please Krishna. One whose aim is not to develop love for God. One whose aim is not to surrender to Krishna. And this is how Prabhupada defined the Guru. Who is bona fide Guru? One who teaches you to surrender to Krishna. If Guru is not teaching to surrender to Krishna, then this is bogus Guru. And this is what you have. You have another one, Guruji here in South India, who already made his own murtis. You come to his ashram, you can purchase his own murti. Horrible, no? Just they want to be God by force. He made sure that his own murtis are made already. And his followers are in house worshipping him, his murti. Many sects are there of so-called Hinduism. You have famous Swami Narayan sect in the North India who claim to come in line of Shri Vaishnavas because Ramananda was initiated in Shri Vaishnava Sampradaya. But there is a history that he was asked to leave South India. They were not agreeing. He was disagreeing to accept. There was some disagreement with Shri Vaishnava Acharyas at that time living, so Ramananda was sent north. And North India he formed big sect. Ramanandis are called. They were also Shri Vaishnava Tilak, but huge size. You've seen that? Not same Shri Vaishnava Tilak, but big, over full forehead, And he introduced Ram worship also, because North India without Ram worship, nothing could be accomplished. You can't do any preaching without glorifying Ram in North India. Ramana is so part of the life of people that without worshipping Ram, nobody would care for your worship. So along with Ram, if you say we worship Mahavishnu and we worship, that's okay. Ram is there, Ram is there. Okay, then it's okay. So anyway. So now he initiated Sahajanand Swami. He initiated somebody in Gujarat. So Sahajanand Swami, he claims he got this Akshara mantra, Om Namo Narayana, from Ramananda. So there he claims we are bona fide Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. And then he installed 6 temples. 4 are Radha Krishna temples, one is Lakshmi Narayan temple, and one is Nara Narayan temple. Arjuna and Krishna, basically. 6 temples he installed in Gujarat. Now his disciples say, he is God. Our Sahajanand Swami became known as Swami Narayan. And they say, he is Swami Narayan, means he is Narayan. He is God. Now new temples they build, they put only Guru's Murti. No more Radha Krishna, no more Lakshmi Narayan, no more Nara Narayan. Big temple they build in Delhi and Gandhi Nagar. Huge stone temple, beautiful, amazing work. But when you come there, who is sitting there? Guru is sitting there. No more Krishna. You see. So Prabhupada said that somebody said that, well, Guru was teaching properly, but disciples misunderstood. And Prabhupada said, what kind of Guru is this if you could not explain this much to the disciples? So Prabhupada did not give credit even to Sahajanand Swami. Because how is it possible that immediately next generation they make you God? So this is a big... and now yesterday news came, they are opening first temple, Hindu temple allow in Abu Dhabi. In Muslim country, who is opening? Swami Narayan people are opening. And they are going to put Swami Narayan Murti. Not Krishna, not Radha, not Lakshmi Narayan, like that. Okay, so here, the atheist and impersonalist lead such foolish pseudo-religions into the darkest regions by preaching the cult of atheism. Hear that one? Prabhupada equates atheists or impersonalists. Lead people who are not sincere, pseudo-religionists, into darkest regions by preaching cult of atheism. The atheists directly deny existence of God, and impersonalists support the atheists by stressing impersonal aspect of the Supreme Lord. And you can see, it's very close link. Say atheists, they are saying, why do you are worshipping these idols? The stone murtis you are worshipping, that metal murtis you are worshipping, idols you are worshipping. And impersonalists same thing. Yeah, actually this is not really God. You see that? Same thing they are saying. Impersonalists also same thing. No? What is this singing, dancing, Hare Krishna, just to pass time? Atheists are saying. No? Impersonalists say same thing. Yeah, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. one should realize jnana. Is it? Krishna Bhakti. Krishna Bhakti is for neophytes till they get jnana. This is what they say. Atheists are criticizing us for singing and dancing. Impersonalists are criticizing us for singing and dancing. No? So you see, they misguide people. And those who are not sincere, what is it now? Now there is a fashion in India. You should have good education. You should get good money. And you should have a guru also. Because we are Indians. You're spiritual. No? You should have a guru. It's a fashion. You don't have guru. Come on, this is India. You should have a guru. No? So then you go to internet and Indian guru. Then you have the list of most popular, Who is the most popular? Ashram Bapu. Okay, he's not there anymore. I mean, he's there, but he's somewhere else. In the jail. Okay? Then there is Rambu. What is that? Murari Bapu. Then there is Ravi Shankar. Then there is Jagivasu. Ananda Amritamai. Ananda. Okay. So, get a guru. Somehow or other. You should have a guru. And then to identify. And that feeling is there. I have nice material job. I mean, from IT, And I have also guru. And guru must be famous, must match my status. No, I cannot have some village guru somewhere nobody knows, It must be prominent guru, Because I'm a very important person in society, so. So, you see, spiritualism became part of status, And it's crazy. You can't believe what people do. In North India, there's a famous guru. I mean, Guruji and Guru Ni. Radhe Ma. You ever heard? You never heard. You're happy South Indians. You never heard about Radhe Ma. There's a young lady from Punjab, brought up most probably in Vrindavan, and, start speaking Krishna Lila, Bhagavad Sapta, something attracted thousands of people. But she is really not, the character is not matching the speech, Suddenly her photos in miniskirt in London appears in casino and something like that, scandalous, And if you pay enough, you can carry her. So you can see all these Punjabi people on the photos, holding her. She's a young lady and carrying her, and wives are looking, what is going on? No, she's spiritual, And then Vishwa Hindu Parishad attack her that you are bogus guru, you are not guru, you are disgrace to the Hinduism. And she gives interview on the news, on the TV. I'm pure and pious. She says she's Radharani Shakti, something, If you see the dress and singing and dancing, it's just like, thousands of followers, and they give good donations. What is it? People want to be cheated. This is what they want. They want cheap guru who will not push them to follow anything, And then goes even within ISKCON. Neophyte devotees, they advise each other like this. Once I overheard conversation, somehow or other we were supposed to be sitting and chanting, but somebody was talking behind me, two people just talking, just on my ear, So I started, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, did you choose your guru? No. Anyway, now it's Gaur Purnima. So many gurus will be there. Choose somebody. Okay, I have to do something. Yeah. So, I don't know. You heard morning class? Yeah. Oh, it was good class. Oh, it was good. Who was giving class? Oh, there was Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. Oh, Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. Oh, why you want to choose him? He's very strict. Difficult to follow. Choose somebody more lenient. It's easy in life. Some more merciful. Choose somebody more merciful. Who is most merciful than one who asks you to follow Prabhupada so you can go home back to Godhead? But I just trying to say, Prabhuji's chant Hare Krishna, just don't talk now, japa time. Just too much, just see how they're discussing, Just see, just previous morning Guru Maharaj given lecture, Bhagavatam class. It's so amazing, nice lecture he given, and boy was inspired. He said, oh, but the class was fantastic. Who given? A fellow didn't come to class at all, the second fellow. He didn't know who gave the class, first thing. Second, Bhakti, oh, very strict, don't go to him. What he wants? What he wants? He wants sense gratification and Krishna. And little Maya and little Krishna. And little Maya and little Krishna. Correct? Okay, so what is his destination? Prabhupada says, if you chant Hare Krishna and consciously cultivate material desire, you will be born like demigod. Then you enjoy life and worship Krishna. This is what will happen. This is the result. Prabhupada writes, one purport in Bhagavatam is there, that many of our devotees in ISKCON will go to heavenly planets because they cultivate material desires while worshipping Krishna. And Krishna says, oh, that's what you want? Okay, Tadastu, please you go. Become Indra, become Agni, become Gandharva, whatever you like. And there is a risk. Okay, Prabhupada says, the impersonal conception of Supreme Lord is another form of ignorance, arising from an imperfect conception of the absolute truth. So to say that God is impersonal is partially true. That his effulgence, Brahmajyoti, is impersonal, but God is a person. The shining effulgence comes from the transcendental body of the Lord. But to say that God is impersonal, this is ignorant, this is misconception. The ignorant pseudo-religionists and the manufacturers of so-called incarnations who directly violate the Vedic injunctions are liable to enter into darkest region of the universe because they misled those who follow them. Now another category is here explained. That not only that they misunderstood who is God, but now they introduce bogus avatars. Or that they claim themselves that we are avatars. There is this Ananda Amritamai, she dressed as a Krishna. She put a yellow dhoti and blue chadar and peacock feather in her hand holding the flute. So there was one elder gentleman, Vaishnava, who is worshipping all life, Guru Vayapang is worshipping Krishna all life. Elder man came and slapped her. Now this is a fact. And after that she never put that dress again in the public. You know? You can't, you are not Krishna. Lady wearing Krishna's dress. And she never read Krishna book, that Pondraka Lila, you remember that? You know, somebody dressed as a Krishna. Oh, Krishna, give up your Sudarshan Chakra and all other weapons. Krishna, all right, I'll give up on your order. Catch the one, finish, kill him, you know. Bogus imitators, you know. And many other. You have Gujarat, you don't smile, you have Dada Bhagavan there. Correct? He would put this mukuts we have on the deities today, you see that crown. He will buy in Vrindavan, 100 rupees or so. He will put on his head. He was suit, pants and shirt and mukut. And he will walk on the street like that. Dada Bhagavan, you don't know. So many gods are there, you have no clue how many gods are there. And then I was talking to Maharaj, we went traveling in Gujarat, in villages where they see it in books there. So many bogus gurus and gods are there. And Maharaj said, Gujarat, nothing is there. You go to Bangladesh, every village has his own god. And many of them claim, Chaitanya avatar, this one, that one. No? What was that? Kripalu Maharaj, no? That Prema Mandir, you've seen in Vrindavan, the beautiful marble temple, huge temple. You've seen that? Next to our temple, big, beautiful 2-story, 3-story temple they built. Kripalu Maharaj. Now what is wrong? He built Radha Krishna temple. Wrong is that he said that he's Chaitanya avatar. Thousands of followers. Brought crores and crores and crores of money from Canada he brought. Huh? Bogus. And he's dancing like that. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and hair also. He put like that. You know? Just imitators. Cheap imitators, you know. So now, this is what Prabhupada said. Now they so-called incarnations who directly violate Vedic injunction. What is Vedic injunctions? One should not worship the deities which is not described in Shastra. And then Prabhupada says, for Gaudiya Vaishnava, we worship Krishna with his energy, never Krishna alone. So what we worship? Radha Krishna, we worship Sitaram, Lakshmi Narayan, Prahlad Nrsimha, Gaur-Nitai. This is what we worship. We don't worship Krishna alone. That is not done in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And at least if they worship, let them worship Vedic deity. Let them worship demigods. But why they now speculate another form, you know? Maybe I have. Let me see for a second. If you give me a second. If I didn't delete. One second. There's very interesting video. No, I deleted it. It was so bad. They built a temple for Sonia Gandhi in Andhra Pradesh. They made their murti, dress her as a Lakshmi or Saraswati, with hands like this, and puja is going on. And there is a temple of Amitabh Bachchan in Calcutta, small temple where they keep his shoes from one movie, white shoes from one movie, and people go circumambulate and put coins. There is a bike temple. One in Rajasthan, one man died in bike accident, and police took bike from the road to the police station. But in the morning, bike was found again in the same place of the accident. Again, police took it to police station, and overnight bike again was found on the road. So in that place, they installed the bike, they put a tree, and they said that this is a bike Bhagavan. And people go, and what do they? The man got drunk and fall down on that Rajdut, I think, or that Yazdi, So they offer the beer, liquor, and they go around, and I don't know what do they pray for, In Bihar, there is a dog who saved the owner from the thieves. So when dog ultimately died, he built a temple and carved murti of dog. And villagers, they come and circumambulate and do the puja. And there's a mouse temple. There's a Durga temple where, according to Sthala Purana, the Durga's followers are turned into mouses. So they have thousands and thousands of mouses in the temple, and people come and feed them chapatis or milk or grains. Mostly chapatis, they were giving them some grains. And then they would take Mahaprasadam also. And the temple is full of rats. You come and you can't walk just to every small. So the rats means not the big rats, the mice, And people keep plate and rats will come and eat from. They are not afraid of people, and they say that these are Durga's followers. Shall I tell you all about Indian temples, weird Indian temples? There's so many, things that have a root in Vedic, but was perverted. It was misinterpreted. It was misunderstood. And then there is a mess. And then there's a big problem. What do they do? There is another temple, I don't know what temple is it. They bring aeroplanes. If you want to get visa for America, you should offer one plastic model of aeroplane. So every day they will put one aeroplane in front. So you come in front of them, see so many aeroplanes. What are these Alankar, aeroplane, Araka? No, the people who want to go abroad, they should offer one aeroplane. There is something like that in the Vedic, that but not exactly like that. I don't want to explain, otherwise it will be misused, most probably. So many weird things. Then, who are these Muniappans? We travel all over India, but we don't find Muniappans anywhere except Tamil Nadu. This is local manufactured God. No? Somebody told us, one professor was explained that these were powerful Kshatriyas who would protect people and lands, and later on they build the murtis for them. But another scholar from North, he claims that these are forms of yakshas and bhutas, which are, again, worship for protection, worship for, it's a local tradition to worship them. Anybody knows Muniappam? Kupusami? Periyandichi? Correct? Some are laughing, they were worshipping before. Of course, we all worship somebody, no? We all adore somebody and, wanted to worship. So, these are directly violating Vedic injunctions. At least they worship Vedic deity. Jains, they speculated their own form of God to worship. That's also not accepted. Okay. Then there was famous Leela in Dharmasthala when Vadiraj Tirtha, Madhva Sannyasi came and he cured the son of a Jain king, Hegde, there. And king was so grateful and he asked, what shall I do? You are powerful Acharya, I'll follow you. He said, you are people Jain, you are atheists. No, we worship God. And there was that Bahubali there, that, huge statue is there. In Dharmasthala is one and another place is in another one, even bigger. And he said, Vadiraj, at least worship some Vedic deity. So king went to the village and brought first murti they found, that was Shiva Linga. So Vadiraj installed Shalagram there, and even today is worshipped. So it's very amazing combination. You will see Jain king, even today, Virendra Hegde is a king. He's running basically semi-government in Karnataka. There's so much influence and power there. He is the Jain king who is in charge for Shiva temple where Madhvas are pujaris. So this is something. Of course, Madhvas they worship Shaligram first and then Shiva, but they serve daily thousands of plates of prasadam, but unfortunately they offer garlic and onion there also with it. So it's Hare Krishna. Okay, these impersonalists generally pose themselves as incarnations of God to foolish persons who have no knowledge of Vedic wisdom. If such foolish men have any knowledge at all, it is more dangerous in their hands than ignorance itself. You see that? So this is the point. Why impersonalists are more dangerous than even demigod worshippers. First, they say God is impersonal, but they say I am God. It's very contradictory, very tricky what they preach. God has no form. Everyone is God. All are God. But I am God, Bhagavan, and you are disciple God. It's so contradictory whatever they do. They confuse more. So much. North India, so much. So many gurus are there. You can't believe how many Babas are there, how many impersonalists are there, and everybody claims his own right. So here Prabhupada clearly says, if such foolish men have any knowledge at all, it's more dangerous in their hands than the ignorance itself. Because these impersonalists, they'll quote Vedas, they'll quote Shastras, and you will think, wow, they're so learned, they know, they studied the Vedas, you see. And he say like this, I believe him. And they become gurus. And they, again scandal, recently another scandal was, what is that man's name? Ram Rahim Singh. It's some Punjabi, is it? Punjabi guru. Big mess, you don't know South India, better you don't know, you lose faith, And this is how much danger they do, these people. If they do the scandals, then people lose faith in God. When that Nityananda, the cheater, was caught here in South India, then people, we enter into train and they say, hey, Nityananda bhai, you are Nityananda's brother because we wore same color, They identify us, even that, what is his name? He was arrested in Namakkal. Police took him for one day. That Kaliya Murti, what's his name? Kala Krishna, what's his name? Yeah, Kala Krishna Prabhu, He was arrested. They thought that time police was searching for Nityananda. So they saw over the Ṭhākura books, they caught him. He's Nityananda's follower. They put him in. No, I'm from ISKCON, where is Nityananda? Tell us. They were attacking him, I think he's searching for Nityananda. In the scriptures, there are recommendation of worshipping demigods under certain circumstances. But at the same time, these scriptures state that there is normally no need for this. Okay, here explanation. Then why do then Vedas advise worshipping of demigods? We'll deal with that soon. Here, yes, Vedas say you can worship demigods under some circumstances. But at the same time, these scriptures state that there is normally no need for this. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that the results derived from worshipping demigods not permanent. Since the entire material universe is impermanent, whatever it is achieved with the darkest of material existence is also impermanent. So what is the use? Now, then Prabhupada advises, one should worship Sambhuti. The Lord states that as soon as one reaches Him by devotional service, which is one and only way to approach personality of Godhead, one attains complete freedom from the bondage of birth and death. This is permanent result. This is what is recommended. Worship Sambhuti. Worship the permanent, the absolute truth. Pseudo-religionists have neither knowledge nor detachment from material affairs, for most of them want to live in golden shackles of material bondage, under the shadow of philanthropic activities disguised as religious principles. Now this is, Prabhupada is exposing, what are bogus religious people. They want material enjoyment. They want money. They want followers. They want fame. And then, how do they cheat people? They do this philanthropic stuff, because people do not know that opening hospital nothing to do with spiritual. You are helping the body. You are not helping the soul. Even my father is communist and atheist, and he also gives charity to poor people. It's nothing to do with spiritualism. It's a material thing. And then they feeding the poor, running the eye camps, running now they are helping them, getting kidneys, getting different eyes, donate the eye, plant the tree. And people think, oh, they are so spiritual. You see, they are helping people. Spiritual means something beneficial for people. So this Swamiji is helping the people. Why you are criticizing him? He is helping the people, but he is helping on material platform. He is helping materially, which is not a help. Prabhupada say, if I say you are drawing in the river and I save your coat, and I let you drown, then how did I help you? If we simply help the body of people, but don't teach them about Krishna, they have to take birth again, a repeated birth again, then what is our help? So, and then you say this mission, one mission in Salem is running free dispensary, free hospital, correct? And people say, great work you are doing, commendable work you are doing. But already so many people, the government is running hospital also. So government is spiritual. You see, there is no link. They can't understand. Because of ignorance, they cannot understand what is spirit. And therefore, what you do, you please people, make them have good opinion about you. How you please materialistic people? By good material activities. Okay, I admit, feeding the poor, helping the sick, helping the needy is good. Materially, but is ultimately not good. How it is good if it doesn't help the soul to come out of repeated birth and death? It's bad. So we say like this, of all material activities, instead of lying and cheating, somebody is helping, okay, this is better. So you may say dry cow dung is better than wet cow dung, because at least you can cook on it. But ultimately it's a cow dung, it's a material activity, It's not really helping the soul eternally. It doesn't benefit the soul, really doesn't benefit the soul. But they are misusing sentiment of people. They are proposing, spiritual people, people come to us, when you will open hospital? Say, sir, this is the temple. Why you have a hospital, you go to somebody else, Why we should open the hospital? Prabhupada said, this is the hospital. We are curing material disease. This is the real hospital. That real disease is forgetfulness of Krishna. Okay. Here, by false display of religious sentiments, they present a show of devotional service while indulging all sorts of immoral activities. This is another thing, that in North India you will find so much. You see, they know the Bhagavatam, they know Krishna, they know what's supposed to be taught. We had person coming Bhagavad Sapta here. You came with me? Few of us, we were invited. You remember? We sat in the backside not to hear him, just to honor the host. We didn't want to really hear professional reciter. So he is narrating Krishna Leelas. Now public is so big, there's so many people are sitting there. So he started crying in the course of discourse. Then Mother Yashoda brought the butter and Krishna started eating butter and looking at Mother Yashoda's eyes. And Mother Yashoda looked at Krishna's eyes. Tears are coming. But you see, only people in first row can see the tears. So you can see people in first row. He's crying. He's such a Bhagavat, Mahabhagavat. He's such a devotee. Look, he's crying. But we from behind, nobody can see. So many people there. Then he takes this handkerchief, handkerchief. Have you seen? Yeah. Okay, he takes and does a little bit like this, But still we cannot understand. Something is going on, some koma we cannot understand. Then he takes a towel, No, Baba, okay, clear message. All right, you are crying, we got it, Such a drama, you can't believe, And you come to Bengal, then you see, I have a video. I have Bangladeshi kirtans. Then they sing a kirtan. Nice. They sing really, how they play this mridanga and karatas, you can't believe. Then they start dancing with mridangas. Very nice. And one main singer he's in the bar already. Hare Krishna, Krishna, tears are coming, And then public, you can see. Then kirtan is going on. Then people one by one start touching the feet. Then this main singer and main mridanga player start rolling on the ground. Krishna, Krishna, rolling on the ground. And people are coming, touching their feet like anything. And he is like, doesn't bother, let him touch, The big party is there, They have performance, They perform, they are paid by the host for the function. What a bow, what a tears, what a rolling. Amazing, And then they get booking for the next village. We'll come there, we'll come. This is a professional team of bhavukas, They can display. I don't know. I mean, maybe you cry on my lecture, what this fellow is speaking, but I'm not getting that emotion to cry yet. But these people just like press button and just coming tears like anything. I don't know how you practice this. Must be. I don't know what I do. Maybe one hand was smeared in mirchi, in the green chili. Then playing. You do like this, and then will come, Oh my God! I expose myself now, Next time I will do like that, You can't believe how they cry, And of course, in Bengal, it affects the people. If you cry in South India, you'll feel, keep away. People won't be impressed here. It's completely different. And all the schemes they know. North India, you should wear silk. If you're Guruji, means silk. South India, if you wear silk, people, why he's wearing silk? You should wear cotton, simple. Completely. So they have different, systems. Oh my goodness. False display of religious sentiments. You can't believe how they cry, how they sob, how they carry them, They have to carry them, Okay. In this way, they pass as spiritual masters and devotees of God. Such violators of religious principle have no respect for the authoritative acharyas, the holy teachers in strict disciplic succession. Why? Because they cheat people, and then people lose faith in God altogether. If one bogus guru is caught, people lose faith in God. They lose faith in everyone. Say Ashram Bapu was caught doing some mess. And what people say, ISKCON is also bad. All are you same. All are you bogus people, spiritual people. And more is happening in India. Every month some guru is exposed doing cheating. Every month. And people are more and more convinced, these are all cheating. There's no good guru. There's no saintly person anymore. And it's rare. Instead, to mislead the people in general, they themselves become so-called acharyas. But they do not even follow the principles of acharyas. This supreme science of God is received through the disciplic succession. This is how it should come. These rogues are the most dangerous elements in human society. Because there is no religious government, they escape punishment by the law of the state. Now Prabhupada is serious. They should be punished, they should be arrested. Because if you preach irreligion, you're a rascal, If I pretend that I'm owner of Tata company, I'll be arrested. And this fellow is pretending that he is coming into parampara and that he is going to deliver people. And he's cheaters. Remember Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, when that bogus avatar was in Orissa? Then Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura arrested him. He was magistrate. He arrested him and punished him, put him in the jail, in prison. And people were so much, don't do that, he's Bhagavan, you will get reaction. And when he arrested him, Actually, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, whole family got high fever. And people say, you see, he's good. He immediately got fever, he got the reaction. Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura said, even we shall all die, but this rascal should be arrested. Then Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura arrested him, cut his hair. Because the yogis, they keep power in the hair. He cut his hair, balloon was, no more Shakti. And he died, drank poison in the prison and died. And Prabhupada said, this should be done. This should be done. These imposters should be arrested. That is why? No religious government also. They cannot, however, escape the law of the Supreme, who has clearly declared in Gita that envious demons in the garb of religious propagandists shall be thrown in the darkest regions of hell. So here is the threat. Conclusion. Śrīpāda confirms that these pseudo-religionists are heading towards the most obnoxious place in the universe after the completion of their spiritual master business, which they conduct simply for sense gratification. So here, the impersonalists who make themselves avatars, these are the worst, even worse than demigod worshippers. This is what Shloka says. Remember what Shloka says? Here you go. Those who are engaged in demigod worship and the darkest region of ignorance, because by worshipping demigods you go to planet of demigods, you stay in material world. And still more do, so the worshippers of impersonal absolute. They are condemned even more. Okay, so here, some of them, they may go to Brahmajyoti, but they fell down, so again they remain in material world, and some of them, due to their offensive nature as imitators and offenders to the form of the Lord, they actually go to lower species. They actually go to hell. Okay, so this is the shloka. Some other quotes about demigod worship by Srila Prabhupada. Generally, in all the material sacrifices, you hear this how Prabhupada writes. It's so amazingly clear. Generally, in all the material sacrifices recommended in Vedic literature. You hear that one? Material sacrifice. You hear that? As soon as you say sacrifice, you think something spiritual. But Prabhupada is very clear. Karma kanda is material sacrifice. Why? Because you are asking for material benefit. It's performed to give you material boon. So Prabhupada say, generally in all material sacrifices recommended in Vedic literature, they are offerings to the demigods. This demigod worship is especially meant for less intelligent men. Actually, the result of such sacrifice goes to the Supreme Personality Godhead Narayan. Lord Krishna says in Gita, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam, he is actually the enjoyer of sacrifices. His name therefore is Yagya Purusha. But so what is wrong? If offering goes to Narayan, what is wrong with demigod worship? Avidi Purvakam. It's wrong because the worshippers, they do not know who is supreme. Although Lord may accept their offering through the agency of demigods, they do not know who is supreme. This is the problem. And there, they say all are equal. Shiva is equal, Ganapati is equal, Brahma is equal, Vishnu is equal. Yastu Naram Devam Brahma Rudrati Devatva Samatvena Vikshita Ye Pashandi Bhavedruvam. One who says that Brahma Shiva are equal to Narayan, he's Pashandi, atheist. He's atheist. Now why you say like this? They're all same. But why you say they are all same? Krishna doesn't say we are all same. Krishna doesn't say all devatas are same. Then Bhagavad Gita should teach 18 chapters, 18 different demigod worship. No? Why Bhagavad Gita, which is accepted by Hindus as their primary book, like Bible is accepted by Christians, Quran is accepted by Muslims, by Hindus Gita is accepted. Why Gita doesn't teach every chapter on one demigod worship? Chapter 1, Ganapati Puja. Chapter 2, Durga Puja. Chapter 3, Kartikeya Puja. Chapter 4, Ram Puja. Chapter 4, Hanuman Puja. Why is not there? None of this. None of that is there. Sarva dharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam. Serve me, ekam, one. One only you worship. You know? But people, somehow or other, there's some illusion, Maya. No? You claim to be Hindu, you do not accept Bhagavad Gita. And when we speak from Bhagavad Gita, why you are criticizing other gods? Why I'm criticizing? Krishna is criticizing. Alpa Medasam, Krishna says. I'm not saying. Prabhupada, what can I do? Prabhupada says. Krishna says. Okay, here. Here, these are the quotes. Okay. Despite the cultivation of Vedic knowledge, which is unlimited, and the worship of different demigods by the symptoms of Vedic mantras, demigod worship does not help one to understand the supremely powerful personality of God. This is shloka from Bhagavad 4:29-45. By such worship, karmis may obtain benediction of material opulence in form of animals, riches, beautiful wives, many followers, and so on. By such material opulence, however, one cannot understand Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is what Prabhupada explains. Why not? What's wrong? Demigod worship. Nothing. You're worshipping demigods, you get material benefit. But by material opulence, you're not going to please Lord, you're not going to understand Lord. Lord is not understood by material assets. Now I'm rich, now I'm powerful, now I'm mighty, now I'm in charge, so I can understand God. No, nothing to do with it. It's not material. Bhakti is not material. A yagya may be carried out to satisfy a particular demigod. But when the yagya is offered to Yagya Purusha, Narayana, the demigods are satisfied. You see this? It's such a profound statement. You heard that? Yagya may be offered to demigod. But when the yagya is offered to Yagya Purusha, Narayana, demigods are satisfied. You see? You want to please the Shiva, you want to do the yagya. But Prabhupada said, you do yagya for Narayana, Shiva is satisfied. You want to satisfy him, worship Narayana. You want to satisfy demigods, worship Narayana. They are satisfied. Okay. The purpose of performing different yagyas is to satisfy Supreme Lord. What is that? Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. Then another one, what is that? Aham hi sarva yagyanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. Of all the yagyas, I am the enjoyer. I am the master. I am to be worshipped. Yagyavai Purusha. One may perform them in the name of different demigods or directly. If we directly offer oblation to Supreme Lord, the demigods are automatically satisfied. Prabhupada gives example, if we water the root of the tree, branches, twigs, fruits and flowers are automatically satisfied. When one offers sacrifice to the different demigods, one should remember that the demigods are simply parts of the body of the Supreme. Now, if you worship demigods with understanding, these are simply parts of the Supreme, then you will get benefit. If we worship the hand of a person, we intend to satisfy the person himself. If we massage person's leg, we do not really serve the leg, but the person who possesses the legs. Okay, look at the amazing example Prabhupada gives, no? All the demigods are different parts of the Lord, and we offer service to them. We are actually serving Lord himself. Now, here, this example Prabhupada gives in one conversation is very amazing. You want to please me, so you want to touch one part of my body. And, So, I'm your guru, you want to touch my head. But proper thing is touch my feet. So what he says, that same thing, you want to please the Lord by worshipping demigods, but they are different limbs of the body. You take a hand, you take a leg, you take a head. But actually, if you worship Narayan, there is a proper way. That is worship his feet. There is a proper way of doing it. Prabhupada gives this example. So demigod worship is mentioned in Brahma Samhita. But actually, the shlokas advocates worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is that in Brahma Samhita? For instance, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Bibharti Durga Ichchanurupam Apiyasya Chateshtate Sa Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. What is that? Following the orders of Sri Krishna, the goddess Durga creates, maintains and annihilates material universes. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya creates, maintains and destroys. Who? Durga. So shloka is glorifying Durga. But look at what is intention. No? Sri Krishna also confirms this statement in Gita. Maya Jakshena Prakriti Suyati Sacharacharam. This material nature works under my direction, O son of Kunti. And it is producing all moving, unmoving beings. No? But we should worship the demigods in that spirit, that they are under order of Krishna performing their functions. Because the goddess Durga satisfies Krishna, we should therefore offer respects to goddess Durga. Because Lord Shiva is nothing but Krishna's functional body. Functional body means the Lord who deals with material nature. That is Lord Shiva. We should therefore offer respects to Lord Shiva. Similarly, we should offer respects to Brahma, Agni, Surya. There are so many offerings to different demigods, and one should always remember that these offerings are usually meant to satisfy Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now in this mantra, you can see, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Reka. Durga's position is glorified. Okay. But what is the intention of the shloka? Is it intention demigod worship? No. The demigod worship is mentioned. But actually shloka advocates worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because under his instruction, Icchanurupam apiyasya chatashtates. By his desire, by his Shakti, she is conducting all this for his pleasure. Durga is Vaishnavi, Vaishnavi Devi. She is conducting all this for his pleasure, by his power, by his will, by Icha Shakti of the Lord. Okay. So there are many quotes of that because what do we do? Okay, another one. Even demigods are bound and limited by laws of karma. That Indra himself is subordinate to laws of karma is explicitly stated in Brahma Samhita. Yastu Indra Gopa Matavendra Mahosva Karma Bandhanurupa Falabhajana Matanunti. The Supreme Lord Govinda awards all creatures the appropriate results of their work. This is true for mighty Indra and the Lord of material heavens, and for the germ called Indra Gopa. From Indra to Indra Gopa, everyone is bound by karma. Okay, now Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is very amazing Leela. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a young boy, used to go to Ganga and take bath. And there were local girls worshipping demigods there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kanyare kahe, Ami puja, Ami dibavara, Ganga Durga dasi mora, Mahesha kinkara. So Lord Chaitanya, as a young boy, says that addressing the girls, Lord would say, worship me, and I shall give you good husbands or good benedictions. The Ganga and Goddess Durga are my maidservants. What to speak of other demigods? Even Lord Shiva is my servant. Now this is great disturbance in society if you preach like this. Bogus Guru. But this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's true for him. And the girls will be so upset. Oh, why you are talking like this? They will complain to parents. But still, they were attracted by Lord Chaitanya. So purport here. There is a misconception about the Hindu religion among people who profess other religions, such as Christians and Muslims. Now, Christians and Muslims, they have misconception about Hinduism. Who say that in the Hindu religion there are many gods. Actually, that is not the fact. God is one. But there are many other powerful living entities who are in charge of different departments of administration. They are called demigods. All the demigods are servants who carry out the orders of the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discloses this fact in his childhood. Out of ignorance, sometimes people worship the demigods to receive some particular boon. But actually, no one who becomes a devotee and worshipper of the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not need to go to the demigods for any benediction, because he obtains everything by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Okay, here is for devotees. We do not worship demigods. When we go to demigod temple, we offer pranam. These are servants of the Lord, but these are not Supreme Lord. We go to Meenakshi, we offer pranam. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Reka. We go to Shiva temple, we offer pranam. Kshiram Yathada Divikara Dvishesha Yoga. We go to Ganapati temple, we offer pranam. Yat Pada Pallava Vinidaya Kumbha. We offer pranam. We pray, please make us devotee of Krishna. Bless us to become devotee. Bless us with pure devotion. What? Simple like that. We don't disrespect demigods, because this is another extreme. No, you can't disrespect. That's also not good. Okay, here. Kama isteste kriya jnana prapadyante devata yeshan tvanta gada papam janam punya karmanam. So Prabhupada explains, only less intelligent worship the demigods for their various purposes. The most intelligent worship only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here, sometimes we, the members of Krishna consciousness movement, are accused of not approving of the worship of demigods. Correct, we are accused. Even now, while I am speaking. But how can we approve of this when it is condemned by Lord Chaitanya and is condemned by Lord Krishna? Correct? How can we allow people to become foolish and hritagyana? See, process, no? Bereft of intelligence. Our propaganda is simply meant to enable intelligent people to understand the distinction between matter and spirit and understand the Supreme Personality Godhead, who is the whole spiritual identity. That is our mission. How could we mislead people into worshipping so-called gods in material bodies within this material world? Prabhupada explains, this is a purport. Our position is not allowed worshipping of many hundreds of demigods was confirmed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even in his childhood. Śrīla Narottam Das Ṭhākura sang in this connection, Anya devashraya nai tomare kahinu bhai, ei bhakti paramakara. Okay? To become staunch, pure devotee of Supreme Personality Godhead without deviation, ananya bhak, one should not divert his attention to worship of demigods. Such control is a symptom of pure devotional service. No? So sometimes we see our congregation devotees, they keep Radha Krishna, Jagannath, Gornitai, and then when Ganapati, Chaturdashi comes, small Ganapati also there. I say, what are you doing? No, he is also devotee of the Lord. Yeah, he is, but you are not. You know. Why? At least on car keychain, small Ganapati. Just let it be there, little blessing, little money blessing required. No? So that means no full faith in Krishna. At least sticker they put somewhere in the house, you know. But why? Why to divert one's bhakti to somebody else? Jiva has full right and capacity to love God. Our love, our emotions, our worship, our meditation should be directed towards Krishna, not to anybody else. Why? Why should we do that? That's not approved by the acharyas. Okay. So anyway, many quotes. What do we do? Okay, here this one. Krishna is one, but the demigods are different. They are material. Love for Krishna cannot be compared to material love for different demigods. Now Prabhupada says, your bhakti for demigods, this is material. This is not equal. Oh, you are bhakta of Krishna, I'm bhakta of Shiva. You're not bhakta of Shiva. You're bhakta of yourself. You are asking for yourself, for your benefit. You're not that I'm coming to Ganapati and say, Lord, only for your pleasure. No, all the time you're asking something. You're coming for yourself. You're not coming out of pure devotion. You're not coming to surrender your life and follow his order and serve him unconditionally. There is no such a demigod worship. And even if it is there, that's also wrong. Because they are not Supreme Lord. Because Mayavadis are on the material platform, they recommend the worship of Shiva, Durga and say that worship of Kali and Krishna are the same. However, on the spiritual platform, there is no demigod worship. The only worshipable object is Krishna. See, there's a strong statement. A pure devotee has no plans other than those for the Lord's service. He is not interested in attaining success in mundane activities. He simply wants success in progress of devotional service. For a devotee, there cannot be worship of others or demigod worship. Pure devotee does not engage himself in such pseudo-devotional service. He is interested only in satisfying Krishna. Unfortunately, some of our temple presidents, they introduce now for Shivaratri, Shiva Linga Puja in our own temples, in ISKCON temples. You know? Why? To attract the people. But you are misguiding. You are promoting in our own place demigod worship. But Prabhuji, good collection. It's a good collection. And maybe one of 100 followers of Shiva, maybe he will become devotee of Krishna. But how will become devotee of Krishna when we are approving Shiva Puja? No? What is the system? No, we attack them, then we'll tell them. Okay, let me see this. Please everybody come, Shiva Puja, Shiva Puja, Shiva Puja. Come here, come, you do Abhishek, come, you do Abhishek. Actually, you know, I should not worship Shiva. Shall I tell that moment? When I shall tell? When is the moment you will tell him? No, after signing the check. No. You see why they're cheating? You can't do it. This is not preaching. They say for preaching we'll attract them. No? But it doesn't work like that. You know? It's not approved. Did Prabhupada did it? Prabhupada was there for many years, 12 years. There were 12 Shivaratris. Did he ever celebrate it? No. The Durga Puja, Kali Puja, every year. Vidyābhūṣaṇa. Did we celebrate? No. Why you are now introducing this? Why? Why should be done? So some people, they are doing this, but watch out. Because it is done by ISKCON, doesn't mean it's authorized. It's done by deviants, by people who do not understand. So many quotes. There is a nice book, if you want to read, Who is Supreme? Let's explain that. So many beautiful quotes. Look how many quotes. Okay, now here, I just read one more. This one, Prabhupada explains in conversation. He explains why then demigod worship is recommended in the Vedas. Very interesting. And there's so big list. If you want this, you can worship this. If you want that, you could worship that. Why it is recommended that you worship these demigods? Because if one goes for fulfilling the desire to a demigod, there is connection to Vishnu. Because any yaga you perform, demigod, there must be Vishnu first. Shaligram is always worship at the beginning of yagas. The mantra says that with the sanction of Vishnu's order, you get this facility. So by worshipping demigods, if he is sensible man, one day he will come to know that above demigods there is Vishnu. So why am I worshipping these demigods? Why not Vishnu? That is the idea. That gradually people will become devotees of Vishnu. Suppose I get some facility from somebody, and if I see that this man is taking sanction from another, superior man, so my intelligence should be, why not go direct to the superior man? Why am I flattering this man? This is sense. So therefore demigod worship is recommended in Vedas, that one day he may come to his intelligence that why demigod? Why not God personally, directly? Therefore, it is not that it is encouragement. It is actually discouraged. Just like among the Hindus, the flesh eater, they are recommended. If you want to eat meat, you can sacrifice one goat before the goddess Kali. And goddess Kali is worshipped once in a month. One dark moon day at night. And there are mantras. Okay, so you want to eat meat, you worship Kali. Okay, but Kali is worshipped only on Amavasya, once a month. So your all meat eating is restricted once a month, you see. And there are mantras. The mantra says, within ear of the animal it is said, you are sacrificing your life before the deity, so next life, immediately you get a human form of life. The mantra speaker is telling to the goat that you are sacrificing your life in front of deity, so you'll get human form. And when you get human form of life, you'll have the right to kill this man also. So, once you get human life, you can sacrifice me. Because I sacrifice your life, you can sacrifice my life. You will eat meat after that, hearing this? Dear God, this life I kill you, next life you will kill me. Will you kill? But they are killing. This is mantra. Now if you are sane man, understand that I am killing this God at risk of my life, next birth. So why am I going to take such responsibility? Better stop it. So it is discouraging. It's not encouraging. Vedas also recommend meat eating. But it's discouraging. It's not encouraging. If I say directly, don't eat meat, he'll protest. Why shall I not? It's our food. I must eat. Therefore, instead of directly prohibiting, Shastra says, yes, you can eat, but by sacrificing before goddess Kali. That means condition, restriction. Similarly, marriage. Marriage, what is the meaning of marriage? Everyone can have sex without marriage. So what means marriage? Marriage means restriction. That's all. That you have sex, but a particular selected woman. That's no more. That's all. This is marriage. So all the Vedic rules are there. Shastra says, Loke vyavayamisha madhya seva nitya hi jantor nahi tatra chodana. Why this demigod worship? Marriage. These are prescribed. They are prescribed to stop it, not to encourage it. But the foolish person say, well, it is in Shastra. Why shall I not do? You see, very clear. Prabhupada speaks very clear. Yeah? Makes sense. Madhvācārya says that the only benefit the demigod worship get is that they are chanting secondary names of Vishnu, which are Indra, Shiva, Brahma. These are all Vishnu's names. So by chanting secondary names of Vishnu, they'll get promoted, they'll become devotee gradually. Okay. Here, this is long you waited. Here, Madhvācārya's commentary on this shloka. Now here, not only commentary, but we have to tell you translations also. These are translations. First, he explains, in this shloka and the next two, an instance of wrong knowledge and its consequences are given to illustrate the points made in earlier 3 shlokas. So here translation goes. Those who worship Lord as only the destroyer of misery and ignorance, not accepting Lord as creator of good qualities, enter into deep darkness. This is how Madhva translated the shloka. By this understanding, believe one's sinful qualities will be destroyed, but one remains bound in material world. You see, what is the point? You accept Lord as only destroyer of misery and ignorance, but you do not accept that He is creator. You see, in Madhva's time, there were different philosophies, which are not prominent nowadays. They are Sankhyaists, they are Karmakandis, Mimamsikas, they were Pradhana Upasakas, those who worship Pradhana. There were people who worship Lakshmi without Narayan. People, as a primordial form of Shakti. There were Shakti groups also. So there were people who worship Pradhana, unmanifested material nature. And so they didn't accept the Lord as a creator, but they accepted that it will destroy our sin. So if you worship Lord as the destroyer of sin, your sins will be destroyed, but you will not develop love of God, you will not come out of material world. Okay, so here, if you worship Lord as only destroyer of misery and ignorance, not accepting that He is creator and has good qualities also, you enter into darkness, means you remain in material world. By this understanding, believe one's sinful qualities will be destroyed, but one remains bound in the world. Now, second part of Shloka, Madhvācārya translates like this. Those who worship Lord as only creator of bliss and knowledge, not accepting that He is destroyer of bad qualities, enter even deeper darkness. Because you see, we are not having this type of philosophers present nowadays, so for me it took a little time to relate. But I remember from Gita commentaries also, Madhva defeats Shaktas, worshippers of Shri, without worshipping Narayan and this all kinds of different philosophers which are not prominent nowadays. So you see, by this understanding or belief, one will apparently develop good qualities because you accept good qualities in the Lord. But those would be unsteady because of presence of sinful qualities. Because you don't accept Lord as the destroyer of bad qualities, you are not free from sin. You are developing good qualities, but because in you they are still present of sinful qualities, those sinful qualities will degrade you. So you will be even worse position than person who accepts only God as a destroyer of bad qualities, but not accept Him as a creator. This person will degrade more than worship of Lord as the destroyer of bad qualities. Okay, and he quotes Kurma Purana for that. So here, those who do not accept the creatorship of Lord Hari attain deep ignorance, and those who do not accept the destructive potency of the Lord Hari enter into deeper ignorance. Those who know the Lord as both creator and destroyer, full of all auspicious spiritual qualities, completely surpasses the bondage of body through their knowledge of the Lord as the destroyer, and attain joy and knowledge through their knowledge of the Lord as the creator of joy and knowledge. You see, in Sanskrit it's very deep and complex, and this is the best you can get from the English. If you read 2-3 times, it's not difficult, it's clear. Okay, then he says, one should know that Lord Janardhan is full of auspicious qualities, but is free from all defects. One should not imagine Lord deprived of any of those qualities. So this is the problem. This is exactly what Prabhupada says. Madhvācārya hits this point, that even worse are impersonalists. You see, Prabhupada follows this translation, that those who think God is impersonal and He has no qualities, they are even worse than those who worship manifested demigods. Here, one should know that Janardhan is full of auspicious qualities, but is free from defects. Because soon as you say form, soon as you say name, soon as you say quality, soon as you say lila, pastimes, people, there's my only thing, material. Why you are limiting God by giving Him name? Why you are limiting God but not having name? No? God has no one name. God has unlimited names. That's God. If I have a name, you have a name. You have 2 names. You have 3 names. Why you have 3 names? But God has unlimited names. A jiva can have 3 names. Why God cannot have 3 names? God has 3,000 names. Correct? So, and then, I have some quality, you have some quality. But God has all gunadam. He's a board of good qualities. He must have, no? And here, 4th point, one should not think that the liberated jiva is equal to or non-different from Hari. You see, this is exactly what Prabhupada is giving all purpose, no? That impersonalist pseudo-religionists who claim they are God. Madhvācārya points out, no? One should not think that now you are liberated, now you are equal to Hari. You are not equal. Asama urdva. Nobody is equal. Nobody is above him. Or the jiva can be equal to Brahma and other elevated jivas. No? Even Madhva said, even you are not up to the quality of demigods, what to speak of the Lord. Having understood completely that there is a gradation of souls from man to Brahma, and that Vishnu is the highest, one attains liberation. That is also in Prameya Ratnavali, Baladeva Vidyābhūṣaṇa explains, Harit Charana Jushas Taram Taimyaschatesham. He explains, according to absorption, according to Krishna consciousness, how much you are conscious of God, how much you are absorbed in lotus feet of the Lord, in devotional service, then there is gradation of living entities. Those who are more absorbed, they have higher position. Those who are less absorbed, they are in abominable species, animals and even lower. Okay. Here, Vedānta-deśika explains, those pursuing liberation, who engage solely in meditating on destroying the unfavorable elements to attainment of the Lord, enter into deep ignorance. But those who engage solely in meditation for attaining Lord, enter into even deeper ignorance. The teacher has taught the nature of Lord, the supreme entity worthy of worship, and the means, worship of Paramatma along with secondary worship karma, which leads to the goal to be achieved, which is realization of Lord. So basically, what is it? That the teacher taught the nature of God, okay, means Sambandha Jnana, worship of Paramatma, along with worship of karma, Abhideya, which leads to goal achieve, realization of the Lord. So Guru explains to disciple Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Then, now in the 3 verses, the Guru teaches that the process of destroying obstacles and experiencing Paramatma should be practiced in combined form, as a part of the cultivation of knowledge. In the present verse, practicing each separately is condemned. So basically, this is the conclusion of Vedānta-deśika. Sambhuti, attaining the Lord, is described in following verses. Now this Abhideya is explained. Here, look at this. These are very nice shlokas from the Shrutis, Chandogya Upanishad. Departing from this world, one who thinks without doubt that he will attain the Lord certainly achieves the highest goal. Shandilya Rishi declares this. Chandogya Upanishad. So this is the attitude. This is that one should be convinced that Krishna consciousness will take me back home, back to Godhead. With full faith, one should worship the Lord. Should not divert his attention to karma, to demigod worship, to impersonalism, nowhere. Now here this next one. Very, very amazing shloka. Drutva shariram akritam kritatma brahma lokam abhisambhavami. Look at this from Chandogya Upanishad. Freeing myself from the dead body, means in time of death, having done what is to be done, I attain the world of God. Now think about this. This is very important shloka. Freeing myself from the dead body, having done what is to be done, I attain the world of God. Now you see, this is the thing. Human form of life, we have our duties. We have our duties to be performed in material world. Now, he practiced all lifetime his duties. What Guru told him to do? He practiced his karma, he practiced jnana simultaneously. He practiced the bhakti properly to the Paramatma. Now, in time of death, Drutva shariram akritam. Now, in time of death, he is freeing himself from the dead body and having done what is to be done. I did it. I practice spiritual path. I attain the world of God. This is the goal of human. This is to be done. It's not that I do whatever I want to do. It's not that you do this is your path, I have my path. God prescribed different paths for everyone. Forget it. There is one path, surrender to Krishna. This is what is to be done. So this is the person who performed what is to be performed, what he learned from the Guru. Very amazing. You see, these are the Upanishads. Gives you one line, all life meaning is explained here. What is to be done, what is not to be done. Freeing myself from the dead body, explaining, I'm not this body, I'm not part of material world. Having done what is to be done, I attain the world of God. So if we don't do what is to be done, we are not going to go home back to God. As simple as it. It's a powerful statement. If you think about it, it's really, it hits you, you know. Having done what is to be done. We have to do what we have to do. We have to do it. Okay, here, he explains. Asambhuti is that which excludes attainment of God. Thus, asambhuti means destruction of present obstacles to that attainment. For later it will be said, sambhuti cha vinasham cha, where asambhuti is equated to destruction. Asambhuti cannot mean simply non-appearance, pragabhava, or destruction of God realization, because it would not logical to say that some temporary thing will beginning with beginning or end is the cause of surpassing that. Already in the commentary on verse 11, another meaning of mrityum titva, having attained that has been rejected. So here he explains why the meaning of sambhuti he given like this. Baladeva Vidyābhūṣaṇa's translation. Those who worship the unmanifest prakriti, asambhuti, attain ignorance of the material realm. And those who worship manifest Brahman attain even deeper ignorance. Now you see how Baladeva Vidyābhūṣaṇa translates. Why? Because asambhuti is also described. Here, with the mind to show that both types of worship should be practiced together, the verse criticizes exclusive worship of either manifested Brahman or unmanifested Brahman. Sambhuti is that which has a birth, the manifestation of an effect. Thus, asambhuti refers that which is the cause of manifested effect, or sambhuti. Now he gives this definition. It is invisible prakriti, pradhana, which is asambhuti. Because from pradhana, maha tattva comes. Okay. So, it is invisible prakriti, which is the cause of manifested world, and which is the seed of ignorance, lust, and karma. Because from pradhana, jiva gets. When jiva accepts subtle body, from pradhana, all previous karma, desires, papas, wherever you stop previous pralaya, that is awarded when again creation takes place. From pradhana in mahatattva, you are dressed back. In the Mahavishnu's body, jiva is in the pure state, bija, in the soul. Soul is there with Mahavishnu. All subtle body, all desires, all sins, everything else, it was kept with pradhana. Now when creation takes place, jiva comes out, gets first subtle body, mind, intelligence, ego, back to all desires. And then in mahatattva gets the gross body. And is placed back wherever you stopped. Say now pralaya comes and we did not finish self-realization. We have to go back to body of Mahavishnu, Karna ocean. But body of Mahavishnu does not know anything material. So gross and subtle body you leave behind. Gross body you leave right here on the spot in Tamil Nadu. And subtle body you leave in the pradhana. And then when creation takes place back, you get back your subtle body. And then you get back the gross body. Now you get a little different body than this. No? But point is, same desire. Wherever you stop, you continue. Okay, that's why he said, this is the seed of ignorance, lust and karma. Those who worship unmanifest prakriti attain material realm. Because you worship material world, you stay in material world. In consequence of that worship. Why this interpretation Baladeva Vidyābhūṣaṇa took? Because this is how Shankara explained what is sambhuti and what is asambhuti. This interpretation, asambhuti and sambhuti, is Shankaracharya's. So Baladeva Vidyābhūṣaṇa responding out philosophy according to Shankara's division. He is defeating Shankara by his own terms. This is what he did, you know. Okay. So here, but those who worship of sambhuti, of Karya Brahma, in the form of Hiranyagarbha Brahma and other devatas, enter even great darkness in material world. So these are demigod worshippers. No? So he say, at least better is worship pradhana than worship the manifested demigods, because that is a higher, that is understanding the cause. Karya means caused, effect. Pradhana, from pradhana Brahma came, and from Brahma all other demigods came. No? So therefore it's called Karya Brahma, in the form of Hiranyagarbha Brahma, the primordial. You see, this is Adi Devata Brahma. Once we were discussing this in Golokacharya, remember? Okay, so he said that those who worship demigods, they are even worse than those who worship pradhana. So different definition, according to Shankara. He given and defeated also Shankara's own philosophy. Okay, pradhana worshippers were prominent those days. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary. Now he explains, those who worship impersonal feature of God enter darkness, and those who are absorbed in matter enter greater darkness. When an object loses its quality, it becomes asambhuti. Asambhuti occurs by destruction or merging. Those who cultivate the impersonal aspect of the Lord without qualities, nirvishesha, are worshippers of the asambhuti, and they enter darkness. When Jiva's consciousness of his existence disappears, nothing can be understood. In that state, there is no light at all. Thus it is called darkness. Those who are engaging in sambhuti or material existence are even further from realizing Atma, soul and God, and enter worse darkness. Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur took it like this. At least in personalists, some idea of spiritual life. But Jiva condition, material body, identified with body, has no any consciousness. Say Jiva is in body of a tree. What is your spiritual practice? Correct? You can't practice anything. You see? Or even in human form, but you are absorbed in material life. When Jiva's consciousness of his existence disappears, nothing can be understood. In that state, there is no light at all. This is called darkness. So those who engage in sambhuti, who are in material existence, even further from realizing Atma, and enter even worse darkness. At least impersonalists may merge into Brahman. Or impersonalists, if they meet devotees, they will understand. Already they agree, this material world is not place for enjoyment. At least some benefit they had, no? But those who are into material, and then they get this species of life completely covered. That then the soul existence is covered, completely. Any understanding of soul's swarupa is covered. Then they go on in lower and lower species. If you misuse human form of life by practicing only material activity for sense gratification, you will be born in lower species, in trees, dogs, animals, plants. Look at these trees. What do they know about what is to be done and what is not to be done? No? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, they degrade even more than impersonalists. Because you must understand, not all impersonalists are Mayavadis. They are Brahmavadis and Mayavadis. They are impersonalists who do not offend the Lord. They know Lord has transcendental quality, but they are not attracted. But they are not offenders. These are impersonal. Like 4 Kumaras, they were impersonalists. No? Even others. Shukadeva Goswami, before he heard Bhagavatam, he was tending to impersonal realization. But they were not Mayavadis, they were not offenders. They were not criticizing the form of the Lord. They accepted avatars are there. They know Vaikuntha is there. But they were attracted with Brahman. These are Brahmavadis. So there is a difference. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you very much for your patience. These are really long lectures now. There's a long purpose. Okay, so please, can you read for tomorrow mantra 13? And then we'll proceed. Okay. Thank you very much. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Śrīla Isopanisad ki jai.